Good morning, friends. Hi, Carrie Scroggins here. How are you on this Friday, May the 2nd, first Friday of May 2025? What does that mean? Well, it means we are still in spring storm season, which I want to talk to you about because we go straight from the spring season of storms into hurricane season, which is next month. Can you believe that? We're already facing hurricane season again. So, what do we want to talk about today? Well, thank you, by the way, for your business. I appreciate your loyalty, your continued ability and willingness to work with me. I know the insurance market has been horrible. We are starting to see some changes, but nothing drastic yet. Okay, so I don't want to give you false hope. We are seeing some carriers come back to the marketplace. Germania is back. That's a very good sign that the market is turning. And I do believe we're going to see more carriers come back to Texas, but it's a slow process. Okay, but that's a really good sign that Germania has decided to return for all new business. Spring storms, we've had a few. Texas has had quite a few already this spring season. We are facing here down in the Houston area today a very severe storm. So if you're in the Houston area and you see this video, this afternoon we could have potentially baseball size hail, 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. It is a very dangerous storm that is going to be in the Tomball, North Houston area. So if you live in that area, if you live in Houston, please pay attention to the weather bulletins today, because this is a really bad storm and it could cause significant damage to you personally and your property. So please, please, please watch your weather bulletins today. Spring is a bad time for storms. We all know that. And it's going to continue through the end of May. And then right after that, I think it's 3 weeks later, I think it's the 21st of June, hurricane season starts, which is always a threat to the entire state. So we want to be doing a lot in our property to make sure that, one, we are currently prepared for the remaining storms and then the upcoming hurricane season. What do we need to do? Well, the industry standard right now is 15 feet clearance around your house for trees. If you have big pine trees, big oak trees, and they are near your house, you need to have a 15-foot clearance from the top of your roof to the sides of your house and to the back of your house. 15 feet is the new standard. If you've received a message from your insurance company and they are asking you to trim your trees and you have not done that and responded to them, and we have a storm, please understand you could be at risk for a denied claim and then potentially a non-renewed policy. It is so important to be checking your mail delivery. Most people have electronic delivery, meaning text messages or emails, but there are still cases that come out to you in the mail. One of those is a non-renewal letter. The state mandates that your homeowner's policy carrier must notify you in the USPS system, meaning the postal system. So please make sure if you have any insurance letters, you open them, read them, and respond to them immediately. If there's a deadline, please do not miss a deadline, because it is almost impossible for me to get an exception. It is just the way the insurance market is. It is still a very, very volatile market, and it's not going to improve probably for at least another 5 to 6 months if we're lucky, and that depends completely on the economy. So 15 feet in every direction. Then you got to make sure there's nothing around your house. Barbecue pits, stacks of wood, pallets, wheelbarrows, tools, benches, shelving, plants, anything that can be picked up by a hurricane or by a tornado or by gale force winds, those can be used as a weapon that can be thrown at you, thrown at your property, thrown at your car, thrown at your garage, your neighbor's house, trees. So please make sure nothing is left around your house. Please just remove them and put them in the garage or put them in a safe place so they cannot be used. Because just think about this. You have a barbecue pit and it's probably heavy, right? But if we have a tornado that comes through, that tornado can pick up that barbecue pit and throw it through your windows in your house. It can smash on your car. It can hit you, kill you. So please, please, please check your surrounding property and make sure there is nothing that is loose that can be used and picked up as a projectile. Very, very important. Insurance companies do occasionally ask for tree trimming, okay? And they will send this message out to you by your normal delivery, not necessarily through the mail unless that's how you have your delivery set up. If you get one of those requests, they are going to ask you to trim the trees. It is so important that you follow through with that. If you don't, it's grounds for non-renewal of your policy, okay? And depending on the severity and the wording in that letter, it may take place prior to your renewal. So if your renewal's in December, but they're sending you out a letter now, there's going to be a deadline on that notice. Please pay attention to that deadline date, because if you go past that, there's nothing I can do to help you. There's just not, unless there are major contributing factors like you've had a heart attack or a loss in the family, something like that, that we can document and go back and ask for an exception. But that is extremely rare, extremely rare. Hurricane season is definitely around the corner. So here is a suggestion for everybody. If you are in an area where generally we have a lot of damage down in the Houston area, down in the Gulf Coast area, up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, that is Tornado and Hail Alley up there. Please, if you think you have any current roof damage, call up a roofer and get an inspection. All of them will give you a free inspection. If you have roof damage now and you're unaware of it, and we have a subsequent storm, insurance companies now have documentation and technology that can date damage. So if your roof is technically uninsurable now and we have a storm that comes through and they bring out this technology, they can determine that the damage was prior to the storm, and then it can be one of those situations where coverage may or may not be afforded to you based upon the language in your policy and the language of your due diligence responsibilities. So I would encourage you, if you're in any of those areas and you feel like potentially you have roof damage, call a roofer and get an inspection. If you have damage, get it taken care of. I mean, just get it taken care of. Because here's what I am seeing. In the last year, I have had probably 9 clients, including myself, who have had denied roof replacements because of wear and tear. Yeah. Now, how do you and I prevent wear and tear? Do we stand on top of the roof with an umbrella? It's impossible to prevent wear and tear. But in the state of Texas, the language in the policies does give the carriers the right to deny for wear and tear. They are not going to pay for wear and tear. So how do you know that? Well, in my particular case, I'll just tell you, I did get one of those underwriting notices, and I did do the tree trimming, and I did have the insurance company come out. They failed to inspect my roof after I had these trees done. So now they are facing a errors and omissions claim from me because they failed to identify after I trimmed my trees that I had roof damage. I don't know I have roof damage. How would I know that? I don't get on my roof. The only way I know that I would have roof damage is if I knew that potentially we had gone through a storm and I'd had a roofer come out and determine that I had roof damage. Now, this is an ongoing battle along with probably 14 to 15,000 other clients here in the Houston area, where we have filed a class action lawsuit against many carriers for this exact reason. Because you cannot be responsible for wear and tear unless you're climbing up on your roof. Well, nobody's going to climb up on their roof just to go climbing up on their roof. The only way you would possibly know this is if you had been through a storm and you could possibly think that maybe you had some roof damage. So please, 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 if you've had a storm, just take the time, get a roofer out, have them do an inspection, and if there's any damage, address it now before the hurricane season, because you don't want to be in this situation where the hurricane season comes around. We have one, we have catastrophic losses, and then they come back to you and say, so sorry, but that damage is not from this storm, and so we're not going to replace that roof. Or you've got wear and tear on your house, and so we're not going to replace that roof. Because let me tell you, they're looking for any reason to deny your claim. That is just where we are. That is the bare bones facts. Insurance companies do not want to pay claims, and they're going to pay you $1 instead of $2. That is where we are in the insurance industry today. So please pay attention. Spring storms are almost done. Hurricane season is around the corner. Make sure you're preparing your property. Make sure you don't give the insurance company any reason to not pay your claim or non-renew you. It is hard enough to find good pricing. To lose it because you don't respond to a request from the carrier. So please, please be checking your mail. Thank you so much for your business. As we head into the summer, I hope you have a splendid summer wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Please make sure to another social media warning, if you will, because we're all on social media, right? We just are. It's just the new way that we communicate. If you're going away on holiday, please don't put those dates out there on social media. There are people that watch social media to find out that you're on holiday, and then they're going to come and break into your home. You can put a message that you're going away on holiday, but please never put the dates, because you know what? You can be found from your social media web pages. You can. They can find out your address. That is public information. So don't ever say that your house is going to be empty and give specific days, because there's a lot of evil in the world, and there are people out there that scan social media to break in and steal your property or vandalize it. Never put dates on social media. What else is going on? That's about it. I do want to remind you of the office hours. I am finally feeling better, and my shoulder is finally, I think, in the last stages here of recovery after almost 6 months of recovery. I do work generally from 7 to 5 every day. That's sort of my in the office routine. If I'm not out on meetings or in training or in compliance or whatever. But generally it's 7 to 5. The phone lines, however, are only open from 10 to 4. And the reason I do that is just so I can make sure to get everything done for you guys. I don't want to I try not to make you wait more than a day or so if you've got a request or certificate request, if you're a commercial client, or ID cards, or whatever the situation may be. So I do generally work 7 to 5. The office phone lines are open 10 to 4. The North Texas Exchange has not changed at all, 817-374-4477. And the Houston Exchange is 832-391-8271. And that's about it. As we head into the summer, I hope you have a splendid summer. Please be prepared. Please do understand, too, that I do not get billing notices. at all. There are way too many. And so I am not notified that you've missed a payment or a payment has been returned. 90% of the time, I am not going to get those notices. So please make sure you are watching and checking your bank account. If you have a monthly payment on your policies, please do your due diligence and make sure they are clearing the bank, because I am not going to get those notices. So I would have no way of knowing that you've missed a policy and potentially your policy has lapsed for non-payment. I will tell you too, insurance companies are now taking that into consideration. So if you have multiple non-payments, more than likely you're not going to get a renewal. So please be aware of that too. That didn't used to be the case, but it is definitely the case now. And hopefully by the end of the year, we'll see a shift in this industry, and we'll start to see some calming down of premiums. But right now, we are still seeing anywhere from 40 to 80% rate increases. It is 100% driven by our economy. If you have losses or non-payments on top of that, then that's going to compound it even more. So the average household is seeing anywhere from 40 to 80% rate changes. And then if you have underwriting issues, if you've had losses, or if you've had non-payments, that can even take that rate and make it even higher. It is taking me on average 2 days to requote a household, because I do check every carrier, I do check every package available, I do check to make sure that I can find the best package at the best price for you, and that is time consuming, and it is taking about 2 days per household. Right now there are 9 on my list. If you've got an upcoming renewal, please do not wait any less than 2 weeks from that renewal date to reach out to me, because I don't want to be without time to help you. But I have to take these requests as I get them, because that's the only way to be fair. So please check your renewals. If you're unhappy with the renewal and you want me to reshop it, I'm absolutely happy to do that, but I need the time. And it is a completely different process now, and it is very, very time consuming. Some of the carriers actually now make it mandatory to get pre-approved, and that can take even longer. Some of those carriers take 15 days from the date that I request a quote. So if your renewal is June 1st, and it takes 15 days from my request, and I don't get that request until June 15th, there's no way I'm going to be able to get the quote, because it is a 15 working day process and there are no exceptions. So please think about that as you're getting your renewals if you're unhappy, so I have enough time to dedicate to you to find you a better price at the best options I can. And that's it today. Have a wonderful May wherever you are as we finish out spring and head into summer. And I look forward to hearing from you. Of course, you can always reach out to me. You can reach out to me on my cell phone. I do prefer you call the office, however, but in a situation where you want to send a text message, you can certainly text my cell phone, 817-694-0053. Please do remember, I cannot accept any changes to your policies via the voicemail system. I must either speak to you or have an email or a text message. I cannot accept changes left on the voicemail system. They are non-compliant, and I cannot accept them. So, happy spring, everybody. Happy May. This is Carrie from KDS Insurance Services. Thank you so very much for your continued support and business, and I look forward to all of us having a wonderful summer in 2025. God bless, and we'll see you the next time.